Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this week's episode of Energy, Intuition, Transformation. I'm Sue Williams, the Spirit Psychic, and as always, I'm so grateful that you are here with me for this show. So this week's message feels very real. It actually feels very human. And of course, very relevant to where so many people are right now, because today we're talking about something that most of us experience at some point in our lives, and sometimes more than once. And that is perhaps feeling stuck, feeling resistant to change, knowing something needs to shift, but not quite moving yet. And things do seem to be really clogged up at the moment. It's a very unusual and very unpleasant feeling at the moment. And of course, there are moments in life where we can sense that growth is waiting for us. But for whatever reason, we hesitate to take that leap forward. We stay where it's familiar, of course. We stay where it's comfortable, and that's so common amongst humans in general. And even when we know deep down that we've outgrown that space, we continue to do that. And this week's Oracle card speaks directly to just that moment. And this week's card comes from the Clarifying Life Situations Oracle deck. It's one of my favorites. And the card that I drew this week, and these cards can be upright or in the reverse position. And this week, the card has come out in reverse, and it is growth potential. And the message this week is embrace change to unlock your full potential and flourish. What a great message that is. And of course, in the reverse position, our oracle cards often reflect resistance. If they're in the upright position, that's usually more positive. But because this one is in the reversed, yes, that is really highlighting that there could be resistance there. But the resistance isn't failure. It's not being off path. It's simply a moment where change is present and we haven't fully stepped into it yet. And it suggests that growth is available right now, but something is holding us back from embracing it. And this is very common. That something is often fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of making the wrong decision. Oh, yeah. Fear of leaving behind what we've known, even if it no longer feels aligned. Well, it does still feel comfortable, though, even if it is discomfort. But this card gently reminds us that growth doesn't happen in stillness alone. Growth requires movement. So why do we resist change? I've already highlighted a couple of areas, but let's be honest. Change can really feel uncomfortable. Even positive change can feel unsettling at the time because change asks us to let go of what's familiar. That's very scary. To step into uncertainty and to trust ourselves in new ways. And we don't often do that. And for many people, especially sensitive and intuitive souls, that can feel like stepping into the great unknown without a clear map of where we're going. And you might find yourself thinking, oh, maybe I'll wait just a little longer. Maybe it's just not the right time. Or maybe I'll feel more ready later. Well, how often does that happen? But sometimes readiness doesn't come before the change. It comes through it when we actually do it. So let's go through this week's meditation, which I have called Softening into Change. And just let's take a few moments to gently shift our relationship with change. Wouldn't that be a positive thing? And of course, while we're doing these meditations, remember to not listen while you're um, driving, obviously, or operating any machinery. And if you need your full concentration at this time, please listen with your eyes open and then return to the experience of this meditation with the replay. So If it's safe to do so, close your eyes. Just settle there in your chair, making yourself comfortable. Take a slow, deep breath in and release it softly and slowly, and allow your body just to settle and become so much more comfortable. Now, in that mindset, in that position, bring to mind an area of your life where you might feel stuck at this time, or where you know change is needed, and we know that definitely. There's no judgment here, just awareness. And now imagine that situation as a doorway. You are standing in front of that doorway. Behind you, well, everything there feels familiar, what you've known, what feels safe, even if it no longer fully supports you. And in front of you is the unknown. Now, instead of forcing yourself to step through the doorway, simply place your hand on the door. Feel it. What's the surface feel like under your hand? And as you do that, notice your body's response. Does it feel hesitant, curious, resistant, or perhaps open? Whatever you feel is okay for you. Now imagine a soft, supportive light surrounding all of you. As it's there, it calms your nervous system and it reminds you that you are safe. And feel this light gently wrapping round your shoulders, your chest, your whole body, like a comforting presence guiding you. And silently say, just in your mind's eye, I allow myself to grow. See it happening. I trust that change can support me. I take this at my own pace. Now, imagine the door opening just a little. A soft light spills through from the other side. You don't need to see everything clearly. Just notice that there is space, possibility, something new waiting for you. And take a small step closer. You are still safe, still supported. And now imagine that future version of you, the one who has already stepped through this change, standing just beyond the doorway. And notice how they feel, this other version of you. And notice that they feel calm, grounded, more aligned. They're not perfect, but they are expanded. And they gently smile at you as if to say, you're ready. You don't have to rush towards them. Just allow yourself to feel their presence, their stability, their quiet confidence, and let that energy flow back towards you, strengthening you in this moment. And now, feeling this change, this start of the change at least, take one more deep breath in and just exhale slowly and softly. And when you're ready, if they're closed, just slowly open your eyes and notice that you are already moving towards this amazing change. And what about change in a changing world? Well, right now, the world itself is going through change. There's uncertainty, shifting energy, and a sense that things are evolving in ways we don't always understand. When the external world feels unstable, it can make internal change feel even more difficult. You may feel like holding on tightly to what you already know. But this card, this beautiful card, reminds us that even in uncertain times, growth is still possible. In fact, sometimes it's during these periods that our greatest transformation occurs because change is already happening around us. And the question is, will you resist that change or will you move with it? And as always, I love to refer to what animals do at these times of change. So let's talk about animals and natural growth. Animals offer a beautiful perspective on growth because they don't resist their natural development. As things change, they adapt, they respond, they move with life as it unfolds. A young animal doesn't question whether it's ready to grow, it simply grows. And while humans have a more complex emotional and mental landscape, we can still learn from this natural flow. Growth is not something we need to overthink. It's something we can gently allow. So, how about some support for your next step in this journey? If you're feeling this message strongly, if you know there's something in your life that's ready to shift, and you don't know how to navigate it alone, there's still that fear there. Well, through my Spirit Talk Journeys protocol, my holistic animal wellness program, and the beautiful and far reaching quantum journeys hypnosis, I support people in exploring what's beneath that resistance, that fear, and help with reconnecting with your inner clarity to make things so easy, and also helping you take aligned steps forward. And of course, as always, you can learn more about all of these modalities and more at holistic-health.au, where you can follow the links to explore each offering. And if you feel guided, you're always welcome to reach out to me through the contact form. Let's catch up and have a chat. Because sometimes the first step towards growth is simply allowing yourself to be supported. And please reach out to me so I can help you with that. So, as we close this week's show, growth potential reversed. This is not a sign that you're stuck forever. It's a gentle nudge, a quiet reminder. And it's a reminder about something within you that is ready to grow, something in your life that is ready to shift. And of course, remember this, you are more capable than you think, more capable than you feel. So just allow this to happen and make you feel that your life is worth living, that it's able to expand. And you don't have to rush, you don't have to force, but you are invited to take that next step, however small it may be. Because on the other side of that step is expansion, is alignment, is the version of you that is ready to flourish. So thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Energy Intuition Transformation. And until next time, as always, please have a blessed week. Stay open, stay gentle with yourself, and trust that your growth is already unfolding. Bye for now.